الله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير بك نستعين آمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I was starting 157. Those who follows the messenger of Ummi, unliterate prophet, whom they find written with them in Torah and Injil, and who bids them for what is fair and forbids what is unfair, and makes lawful for them good things and make unlawful for them impure things, and relieves them for their burdens and for their shackles that were upon them, and of their shackles. So those who believe in him and support him and help him and follow the light sent down with him, those are the ones who are successful. So I will, here is some explanation required. The unlettered prophet refers to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had kept him unlettered in order to, he was not educated in order to demonstrate the miraculous nature of the eloquent disclosure revealed to him. When Musa prayed, alayhi salam, prayed for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for mercy for people, Allah ta'ala granted the prayers through he deemed it fit to explain that that a full demonstration of his mercy would be forthcoming in regard to the ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he would be sent to the whole of humankind and not just for the particular nation. And in this context, some characteristics of Sharia have been split out in the verse. And then the second explanation of the same ayah, like the other part of that, would be that refers to the prophecies made in earlier divine book, look like Torah and Injil, whereby the advent of the last prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam foretold. This why, and then the burden, they talk like the burden and the shackles in this verse refer to the religious laws and that were imposed to the Israelites and the punishments for their rebellious attitude in the it is mentioned that Holy Prophet will relieve the people from such strict ruler injustice. Okay, going to number 158. O Prophet, say, O people, I am messenger of Allah sent to you from the one to whom belong to the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. There is no God but He. He gives lives and brings death. So believe in Allah and His messenger, and Ummah, unlettered prophet who believes in Allah and His words. I'm sorry, I'm repeating that again. My mistake. That's okay. I'll just finish this. Sorry. So who believe in Allah and His words and follow Him, so that you may find the right path. 159. Among the community of Musa, there are people who guide them truth and do justice thereby. And we divided them into 12 tribes as separate communities, and we revealed to Musa when his people asked him for water, strike the strike the rock with his staff, then 12 springs gushed from it. Each tribe came to know their drinking place. Them we shaded them with the shadow of the cloud. And we sent down to them Manosawa. Eat of the good things, and we have provided you. And they did us no harm, rather they have been harming their own self. So again, this is after mentioning the after mentioning that the evidence of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was foretold to Musa alayhi salam, it was pertinent to invite people, Jews in particular, to believe in him. This verse is thus the logical conclusion one should draw from what had been said to Musa alayhi salam. This also refers to the Israelites who remained faithful to the original version of a Mosaic religion and fully obedient to the genuine Torah. His story bears out that a small group among the Israelites did never deviate from their genuine religion. Ibn Jarir has narrated an story about interesting story about such people. It is also include the Israelites who embarrassed Islam, like Abdullah bin Salam. Also, if you can also go to verse number 160 to 1. We are moving forward in verses 160 to 162. We have already been mentioned that. Okay. So whatever is coming into ayah number 160 to 162 have already been mentioned. Let's move to there. (161). Recall when it was said to them, live in this town and eat from anywhere, and you like to say, Hita, we seek forgiveness, and enter the gate of prostrating yourself, so that we forgive your errors. We shall give much more to those who are good in their deed. 162. But those of them who were unjust submitted to another word for the one that was said to them. So we sent down upon them a scourge from the heaven because they had been transgressing. Ask them about the towns situated by the sea when they used to transgress in the matter of Sabt. When their fish came to them openly on their Sabt, and they did not come to them when they did not have Sabt. In this way, we put them into a test because they used to act sinfully. So already we have seen about the Sabt and explained in Surah Al-Baqarah. Ayat number 65, Sabt means Saturday, which was prescribed by the Israelites as a sacred day to be devoted for worship only. Economic activities were prohibited for them on that day. So a group of them living near the seashore violated the prohibition by going for fishing for the purpose they invented. At first, some clever partisans put gradually, they started doing it openly. So initially, they started doing some clever way, and then they started as a punish. They were metaphors into apes and swines. This episodes belong to the time of Hazrat Dawood alayhi salam. Moving to 166. When a group of them said, why do you exhort a people whom Allah is going to destroy or chastise with severe punishments? They said, to absolve ourselves from your Lord, and in order that they may fear Allah. So when they forgot the advice, 165, when they forgot the advice they were given, we save those who used to forbid evil and seize those who transgress with the bitter punishment, because they had been disobeying. 66. When they persisted in doing what they were forbidden from, we said to them, become apes, debased. Debased. There were some people in town who thought that not to involve in violation of the sub were silent on the violation committed by others. Another group used to admonished the sinner of their violation. The former group asked the latter group why they were wasting their time in admonishing sinners who did not appear to accept their advice, and they were going to be punished by Allah. In answer to them, the later group mentioned the objective of their preaching. Firstly, they wished to absolve themselves before Allah by fulfilling their obligation to call their people to the right path. And secondly, they did not lose hope in their fellow citizens. So who might fear Allah and from their sinful acts and abstain from their sinful acts, these people were saved from the divine scourge, while others were subject to the punishment. There are three important lessons worth learning from these verses. That firstly, it is not sufficient for a Muslim to abstain from evil himself. One is duty bound to admonish other to try his or her best to eradicate evil from society. Secondly, a preacher should perform his duty to absolve himself before his Creator, whether or not his effort bear fruit. Thirdly, a preacher should not lose hope in his audience despite their negative attitude. Okay, and then some so-called question the possibility of turning human being into and some of them were asking the possibility of turning human being into apes and swines, apart from the fact that it amounts to questioning. Number 167. Recall when your Lord declared that he would surely keep sending to them till the day of judgment those who inflict on them evil evil. I'm sorry, I will go back from the last line. Sometimes the time. Those who inflict on them evil chastisement. Certainly your Lord is swift in punishing, and certainly he is the most forgiving, very merciful. We divided them on the earth as separate, 168, as separate. We divided them on the earth as separate communities. Some of them were righteous, while some of others were otherwise. We tested them with the good and bad deed. I'm moving to ayah number 169. Then after them came a generation that inherited the book, opting for the mundane stuff of this world and saying, we shall be forgiven. But if there comes to them similar stuff, they would opt for it again. Was not the covenant of the book taken from them that they should not easy anything but the truth of, they should not say anything but the truth about Allah. They learned what it contained. Certainly the last abode is better for those who fear Allah. Have you then no sense? 170. Those who hold fast to the book and establish Salah, we shall never let the reward of such righteous people to go waste. 171. when we raised the mountain over them as though it were a canopy, and they thought it was falling upon them, we said, adhere firmly to what we have given you, and remember what is threatened, what is therein, so that you may become God-fearing. 172. Recall when your Lord brought forth their progeny from the lions of the children of Adam and made them testify about themselves by asking them, "Am I not your Lord?" They said, "Oh, of course you are. We testify. We did so, lest you should say of the day of judgment, we were unaware of this." This means that they used to change the rule of Torah according to the desire of the people, after taking bribes and money, and clearly observed that they would be forgiven by Allah. But when they were offering bribes, they were all too ready to accept it again and to commit the same crime, distorting the Torah. And then we already discussed this one, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 63. This is also, and there's also description of the first oath taken from a human being that we have already discussed a lot. So let's move forward. 173, or you should say, it was our forefather who associated the partner with Allah, and we were their progeny after them. Would you then destroy us on the account of what erroneous did? 174. This is how we elaborate the verses so they may return. 175. Recite to them the story of the one whom we give our verses, then wriggled out from them. So Satan pursued him, and he became one of the perverted. 176. So if we so willed, we would have elevated him thereby. But he clung to the earth and followed his desire. So his example is like the example of dog. If you attack him, he pants with his tongue protruding, and if you leave him alone, he still pants with his tongue protruding. That is the example of those who rejected our signs. So relate their chronicles so that they may ponder. So again, I will be moving forward because we have discussed already the points of these ones, that before they would send down to the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assembled the soul of all human who were to come to the world till the day of judgment, and after giving them necessary faculties and understand to take the decision, ask them whether they testify that Allah is their creator whom they should obey. All of them testified and undertook to remain obedient to him. Although there were some people like Nun al-Masri who asserted that they still remember this event, it is true that it is not remain in the conscious memory of the majority of human beings. The fact, however, is that apart from some atheists who have been distorted their natural instinct due to some external factors, the recognition of the Creator is inheritably embedded in the subconscious of all human beings, unless hindered by external impediments. And this recognition has strong potential to accept truth. So this is what is actually we call it the promise that all the souls has been taken at the time when Allah created them. And then I will move forward. 177. Evil is the example of those who have rejected our signs and have been doing wrong to themselves. And one whom Allah give 178. And the one whom Allah gives guidance is the one on the right path. As for those whom Allah lets go astray, those are the losers. Surely we have created for hell a lot of people from among jinn and mankind. They have hearts wherewith they do not understand, eyes wherewith they do not see, and ears wherewith they do not hear. They are like cattle, rather they are much more astray, they are heedless. 180. For those there are most beautiful names, so call him by them, and leave those who are deviate in the manner of his names. 180. They shall be sorry, it's the continuity of I. They shall be recompensed for what they have been doing. And this is the verse prohibits reference to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by any other name than those recognized by Holy Quran. 181. Among those whom we have created there people who have guided with truth and do justice thereby. 182. As for those who reject our signs, we will lead them gradually towards their punishment in a way that they do not know. 183. I gave them respite. Surely my plan is firm. 184. Have they not reflected that their fellow, that is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, does not suffer from any madness? He is but a plain warner. 185. Have they not looked into the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and into the things Allah has created, and into the fact that their times might have possibly drawn near? In which other discourse then shall they believe after this? 186. For those who Allah lets go astray, there is no one to guide, and He leaves them wandering blindly in their rebellion. 187. They ask you about the hour, that is doomsday, when it is due to happen. Say its knowledge is only with my Lord. No one can unfold it except He, and He at its time. It shall weigh heavy in the heavens and the earth. I shall not come upon you, but suddenly they have asked us if you were aware of it. Say, its knowledge is only with Allah. The most people do not know. This verse prohibits references to Allah Ta'ala by and I'm just repeating the same thing again. So 188. Say, I have no power to bring a benefit or harm to myself except that which Allah wills. And if I had the knowledge of the unseen, I would have accumulated a lot of good things, and have no evil would have ever touched me. I am but a warner and herald of good news for the people who believe. 189. He is the one who has created you from a single soul, and out of him created his wife, so that he may find comfort in her. So when he covers her with himself, she carries a light burden and moves about with it. Thereafter, when she grows heavy, the both parties pray to Allah their Lord. If you bless us with the perfect child, we shall be grateful. 118, 190. Lord, if you bless us with the perfect child, we shall be grateful. 190. But when we bless them with the perfect child, they ascribe partners to him in what he blessed with. Indeed, Allah is much higher than they associate with him. 191. Do they associate those with Allah? Do not create anything, rather they are created themselves. 192. And they alleged partners cannot extend to them any help or can they help themselves. The first part of this verse 188 refers to the creation of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and Hawa. After that, the mindest and of the infidels of their progeny Is disclosed when a man from his intercourse with the wife and she conceived a child, they pray and then to Allah to bless them with a sound and perfect child. And when the child is born, they ascribes it to their invented deities. 194. Or you call them or you call them to the right path, they will not follow you. It is all the same for them whether you call them or remain silent. 194. Surely those whom you invoke beside Allah are slaves of Allah, like you. So call them, and they should respond to you if you are true. 195. Do they have legs to walk with, or do they have hands to grasp with, or do they have eyes to see with, or do they have ears to hear with? Say, call to you associate gods, call to your associate gods, then plot against me and allow me no respite. 196. Surely my protector is Allah who has revealed the book and who does protect the righteous. 197. Those whom call beside him cannot help you, nor can they help themselves. 198. If you call them for guidance, they shall not hear. You see them as if they are looking at you while they cannot see. 199. O Prophet, take forgiveness as your habit, enjoin virtue, and ignore the ignorant. 200. Should a stroke sorry, should a stroke from the Satan strike you, seek refuge with Allah. Surely Allah is all hearing, all knowing. 200. Surely when the God fearing are touched by an instigation from Satan, they become conscious of Allah, and at once they discern the reality. 201. As for the brethren of the Satan, they are dragged by them on into the errors, and they do not desist. 1, 2, or 3. When you do not bring them a sign, they say, could you not make up one? Say, I only follow what is revealed to me from my Lord. This is a book of insights from your Lord, and a guidance and a mercy for people who believe. 204. The Quran is restricted, listen to it, and the Quran is recited. When the Quran is recited, listen to it and be silent so that you may be blessed. 205. Remember your Lord in your heart with humility and aware and of and without speaking loudly in mornings and evenings, and do not be among the heedless. 206. Surely those who are with your Lord, that is the angel, are not arrogant against his worship, and they proclaim his purity, and for him they prostrate themselves. Number 206. And Alhamdulillah, we have finished Surah here, and I will take a minute pause so that we all can do sajda, like sajda tilawat. Although we are reading English, but I would say just to be on safe side, do the sajda tilawat after I repeat a little bit here. So I will take a pause, do the sajda, and I will let all of you to do that. We'll join you in 1 minute exactly. So we all know this what's that surah is done here, and then we will move to Surah Anfal, inshallah. Let's start with a small introduction. Surah Anfal, the spoils. Alhamdulillah, we have got to the end of the class, and let me end it with dua. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد أستودع الله دينكم وأمانتكم وخواتيم أعمالكم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Once again, Jazakallah khair for joining us. We'll see you inshallah tomorrow in the next lecture.